Welcome to our channel. Today I will be discussing with you how to best work with your business lawyers. First, a little bit about myself. My name is Louis Liu. I am a New York attorney and a corporate lawyer. Before I set up our own law practice, I worked for about 8 years at the so-called big laws. And I have done over 100 corporate transactions over $7 billion of value. Today, I will be, again, be discussing with you how to best with your business lawyers. First off, you need to figure out when do you actually need to have a business lawyer. It's usually too early for you to hire a lawyer if all you have is just some rough idea, whether you want to set up a new venture with other people, or you want to make an investment, or you want to acquire any business. But usually it's too late after you have signed any document. It may be some sort of informal term sheet, memorandums of understanding, because in our common law legal tradition, it's very easy for you to get into some kind of binding legal obligation without having a full-blown formally drafted legal document. So the best time for you to engage a lawyer is when you decide to whether to form a new company or are otherwise ready to invest your time and money into a venture or a deal. And you are doing that with somebody else. You need to have the right kind of expectation when you're working with lawyers, including your business lawyers, right? You should not assume that your business lawyers are only there to help you comply with the laws, the rules and regulations, right? That's the bare minimum. Your lawyers would be able to, and should be able to, let's put that way, help you more than that. Which you will understand if you watch my other videos. And you should not, however, expect your lawyer to solve all of your business problems. There are certain decisions that have to be made by you. Your lawyers are there to give you all the legal pros and cons of every choices you have legally. But also do not expect a lot of free legal advice except for a very sort of preliminary initial discussions because of, the litigious nature of our society. And because of the professional rules governing the conduct of attorneys, lawyers are very cautious in giving anybody any kind of advice, especially in absence of any kind of engagement arrangements between the lawyer and the potential client. To put it more bluntly, we don't want to be liable to you, which we could be, without ever seeing any legal fee income. And so how do you select the right kind of business lawyers for you? Transactional laws can be very complex and specialized and nuanced and detail-oriented. And if you miss a critical detail here and there, in some circumstances, the bargain that you think you have got from an entire transaction maybe wiped out. So you want lawyers that have as close experience and background to whatever you are about to do as possible. And business laws are different than a lot of other areas of law in that law schools do not really train us to be business lawyers. They train us to litigate, essentially. They train us about case law. So you need lawyers who have practiced business law for at least 5 years under good, mentorship, a good training from a decent business law firm. It could not be something that a lawyer could figure out by himself after law school. And you need a lawyer who is patient and responsive. Why? Because there are a lot of details, a lot of nuances to be understood and reflected in the document. And you also need the lawyer to, work with you. And so it's very close sort of a teamwork. Any sophisticated transaction, any kind of sophisticated, even initial establishment of a business venture among a few potential business partners requires the client and the attorney to work closely together. So you need somebody who is patient and responsive. Otherwise, somewhere somebody will drop the ball. And you need a lawyer who is honest, who is prudent, but also who appreciates that any business decisions involve risks, and who is willing to give you his or her best judgment in light of the risks. And between big firm lawyers and small practitioners, there are pros and cons. And large law firms tend to have broader set of skills, more expertise because of their experience and simply the number of lawyers practicing together there, right? Small firms may be more flexible and less costly, but occasionally you run into small firms with lawyers who are just as experienced and competent as big firm partners, and that's because they came from that universe. But again, they may only focus on a very small practice area. And so how do you best work with your lawyers? Always remember that corporate legal documents are highly customized for each specific deal, for each specific transaction, for each specific circumstance. So you need to read the legal documents drafted by your lawyers. It initially may be very intimidating, but for you as a business professional to grow and to assume any serious leadership position in any large organization, or in any large transaction, you have to go through this kind of painful initial process of learning and understanding occasionally intimidating legal documents. And after a while, you get used to it. And today's legal documents are not as arcane and intimidating and as they used to be. And you need to communicate with your lawyers. Your lawyers need a lot of input from you and your colleagues. And they need to understand your needs and your goals. And otherwise, they could not appropriately address those needs and meet your goals in the documents. And you need to listen to the legal advice that you paid for. If you have any questions, you ask your lawyer. Do not keep it yourself or second guess your lawyer's motives. Is it because your lawyer is trying to make more legal fee out of you? Probably not. If you disagree with whatever your lawyer is telling you, explain to your lawyer. Your lawyer may not know the particular circumstances, your particular need, and so there may be gap between the documents he or she drafts and your circumstances and your needs. And that goes back to my point one: read the legal documents. Not because that's what you pay for, because they are supposed to, be appropriate for your facts and circumstance and meet your needs. And there are certain strategies that you could apply to reduce the complexities of your transactions and your documents and the legal work, right? Before you become more comfortable with sophisticated business deals and the documentations of those deals, right? You can go slow. If you are trying to acquire a business, you may want to make a minority interest investment first and learn the business, understand the business better, so that you will be in a better position to actually sort of give directions to your lawyer when the time comes for you to actually acquire a business, right? And also, you may do asset-based transaction, meaning you just acquire or license an asset from a company that you like without doing the whole sort of acquisition, which could be much more complex. And also, you could consider entering into some kind of contractual relationship, whether it's a potential business partner or some kind of, company that you try to acquire, try to monetize the asset that you value by using a contractual arrangement instead of, a full-blown, complicated, large value transaction. And there are certain practical aspects of working with your lawyers that you need to be paying attention to as well. First off, engagement letter, right? Usually, your lawyers, at least your business lawyers, will feel comfortable to sit down with you and really go over documents and discussing with you the substantive issues after they have signed an engagement letter with you. And I will explain the reasons for this kind of lawyerly conduct in my future videos. And also, please understand, most business lawyers charge legal fee by hour. So you need to be mindful of the time that you're spending with your lawyer, and also and do your own part to avoid, very large legal fee bill resulted from, you having your lawyer do whatever that could be handled by yourself. Of course, unless your fee budget permits that. And if you have issues with your lawyer, just like if you have issues with anybody else, try to resolve it before it gets out of control. Talk to your lawyer. If they disappoint you, and explain to them your expectation. It's, again, just common sense. And this concludes today's presentation. If you are interested in our channel, you are welcome to subscribe to it. Thank you.